Hello students, and welcome to Plantora, your global classroom for plant biology. Today, we will explore sexual reproduction in plants, including pollination, fertilization, and seed formation. This topic is essential for students preparing for exams, competitive entrance tests, science, Olympiads, and international biology assessment. At Plantora, we explain plant science clearly and professionally. Sexual reproduction in plants occurs when male and female gametes fuse to form a zygote inside the flower. The zygote develops into an embryo, which is protected within a seed. When conditions are favorable, the seed germinates into a new plant. This process creates genetic diversity, helping plants adapt, survive, and evolve across different environments. A flower is the reproductive organ of a plant, carefully designed to produce seeds and ensure the continuation of life. It has four main parts. The sepals protect the flower bud before it blooms. The petals are often colorful and scented, attracting insects, birds, and other pollinators. The stamen is the male part, consisting of the anther, which produces pollen, and the filament that supports it. The pistil is the female part, made up of the stigma, style, and ovary, where ovules develop into seeds after fertilization. Together, these parts work in harmony to enable pollination, fertilization, and the growth of new plants, making the flower an essential structure for plant reproduction. Pollination is the process by which pollen grains move from the anther, the male part of a flower, to the stigma, the female part. This transfer is essential for plant reproduction. There are two main types of pollination: self-pollination and cross-pollination. Self-pollination occurs when pollen from the anther is transferred to the stigma of the same flower or another flower on the same plant. It usually happens in plants that have both male and female parts in one flower. This type of pollination is simple and does not depend much on external agents. Cross-pollination occurs when pollen is transferred from the flower of one plant to the flower of another plant of the same species. This process often depends on agents like wind, water, insects, birds, or other animals. Cross-pollination increases genetic variation, which helps plants become stronger and better adapted to their environment. Both types are important for plant reproduction and seed formation. After pollination, a pollen grain lands on the stigma of a compatible flower. The pollen grain germinates, forming a tiny tube called the pollen tube that grows down the style toward the ovule. Inside the pollen tube, two male gametes travel carefully toward the ovule. At the microscopic level, one male gamete fuses with the egg cell, forming a diploid zygote. This is fertilization. Meanwhile, the second male gamete fuses with two polar nuclei in the central cell of the ovule, forming a triploid cell that develops into the endosperm. This process, called double fertilization, ensures that the new seed has both an embryo and food storage to support growth. Step by step, the pollen tube, gamete fusion, and double fertilization create the next generation of the plant. After fertilization, the zygote inside the ovule begins to develop into an embryo, which will become the new plant. At the same time, the surrounding ovule tissues develop into the seed coat, protecting the embryo. The ovary of the flower starts transforming into a fruit, which acts as a vessel to protect and help disperse the seeds. Inside the fruit, the endosperm provides nutrition to the growing embryo. Gradually, the seed matures, ready to germinate under favorable conditions. While the fruit ensures its safe dispersal, completing the reproductive cycle and ensuring the next generation of plants. Sexual reproduction is vital for plants because it creates genetic variation, meaning each new plant is slightly different. This variation increases disease resistance, helping plants survive infections and environmental stress. It also allows plants to adapt to changing climates and conditions. Over time, these advantages support evolution, ensuring the survival and continuation of plant species across generations. To summarize, sexual reproduction in plants involves pollination, fertilization, and the formation of seeds. It begins with the transfer from male gametes to female gametes, forming a zygote that develops into a seed for the next generation. Subscribe to Plantora Science for the latest updates in biology and plant education. Seedling.